Heyo! Welcome to another edition of Mr. Snail's Wild Ride. As always, I am Mr. Snail, and the wild ride is my life so far. Recently, I touched on my struggles with problem solving and mentioned one aspect in particular involving prioritization that was summed up pretty well by a quote from Dr. Stephen Shore, where he said, "Without appropriate support, the child with Asperger syndrome may feel like he's drowning in a million little subtasks." So today I'm going to try to drill down a little bit more into my own personal love-hate relationship with time and deadlines. I've made a little bet with myself about this video, so we'll see if by the end whether I've won or lost. Personally, there are two main factors that play against me with respect to time. They are my autistic tendencies toward linearity and over thoroughness. For the most part, this video is going to focus more on my own personal behaviors and problems as opposed to speaking more broadly toward people on the spectrum. But I'll start by giving examples of that last one first. I tend to be very slow when responding to emails. When most people receive some kind of inquiry, they'll respond with a couple of lines. I will often respond with 5 paragraphs, largely because I always have to start from the beginning. I don't want to, I'm compelled to. Here's another example. My wife, who is neurotypical, she's a really good time estimator, much better than I am. And if she wants my help with something, other than just how do you spell the word such and such, she knows that it would take a neurotypical person 5 to 10 minutes to help her with whatever it is. If she asks me for help with that same thing, it will probably take about 2 hours. Because she knows that I will want to have a full, complete, and thorough understanding of the problem in every conceivable way. But I will help her achieve her goal in the best, most thorough and complete way possible. But she needs to have a good 2 hours to get there. And that's all part of that linear thinking. I need to start at the beginning and plow through to the end. Many people have tried to assuage my concerns about not having enough time to find something new for myself or to learn something new at this stage in my life. So I want to try to clarify this issue a bit more by addressing my own personal relationship with time and illustrate how it's pretty atypical, perhaps even atypical as compared with others on the spectrum. You know what they say, when you've met one person with Asperger's, you've met one person with Asperger's. If you've watched many of my other videos, you know that I'm finding pretty much everything in my life very overwhelming and daunting right now because of the time it feels like, to me, that's required to learn and study and practice anything new. And that's because I only really know one way to learn or do anything, and that's thorough and linear. I really don't have any experience with only doing something half-assed or only 75%. I've gotten C's on papers or tests before in school, but I've never had any experience aiming for a C on purpose. Because I only know one way to learn or do anything, it means that I have to make really smart choices about everything. That means spending time on projects, choosing how to spend social time, how to take breaks. Imagine for a second if everything that you do in your life, for pleasure, for work, whatever, took 10 to 100 times longer than it does now to accomplish. There's not enough time in the world to do all of that, right? And that's how long it takes me to do everything. Now, the upside is that I do those few things really, really well. But since there is not yet a way to stop or expand time or to clone people, I can only do a tiny fraction of the things that need doing. These are a few of my to-do lists. And remember, I am unable to prioritize without help. So that's the perfect recipe for ongoing meltdowns, for depression, to which I'm already biochemically predisposed anyway, anxiety, and generally feeling shitty all of the time. Because of that recipe, even less stuff on those lists gets done whether it's have to or even want to. And then my manager part chastises me for not getting anything done. And it's a vicious circle. And on top of that, some of my new medications make me kind of tired, as if I needed additional reasons to want to go to bed all the time. Now, this isn't a pity party, I'm just reporting. And at the beginning, I said I have kind of a love-hate relationship with time, and this sounds like a whole bunch of hate, right? Well, there is a little bit of good in that external deadlines really help. One very obvious example is that I have to post a new video every Thursday. That's the commitment that I've made, and I have not missed that deadline yet. Internal deadlines, I have in my digital calendar a repeat appointment with myself to take a break every day at like 12:15 to do something fun, whether it's, milling around on Tumblr or reading a magazine or watching videos for fun on YouTube or whatever, and I hardly ever do that because I'm usually in the middle of something. And I have all sorts of other excuses, like I started late, I slept in, which I hadn't intended, and a bunch of other things that sound like your mom scolding you into not doing something for yourself. I'm working on it. So that's all for this week. Yes, I win! Under 10 minutes! So I'm not always a loser when it comes to time, I guess. Well, that's all for today. Keep those questions and comments and inquiries coming. If you have anything you want to know about my life on the autism spectrum, and for whatever reason how it's gotten weirder and worser as I've gotten older, tag those comments Autistic Snail. Tell me about your life reloads and how those are going. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.